line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice.
CHEERIO, my good friends and colleagues. Welcome to the UK, the United Kingdom, where they have given us good hospitality and hospitality under the great circumstances of this wonderful track known as Brands Hatch Circuit. We invite you to now come and see the greatest drivers in all of the Citadel Rallycross League battle it out down on the track and have a little fun as they completely get the mayhem and chaos going around here. Sorry, my American accent had to come in eventually. I really apologize to our European and UK friends. I cannot pull off your accent well at all, so I apologize in advance. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to PTM Racing TV live from Brands Hatch Circuit here in Kent, UK, United Kingdom. We are here today to see the Citadel Rallycross Racing League battle it out once again in a star-studded lineup, yet again set to go for the field at hand and the drivers to play this one out. It is a whole host of hard-driving, hard-throwing guys ready to bring it down the track and down on the table. With all that is at stake for a season title, still it's on the championships run. Some of the guys, though, we are missing out on, of course, include Alexander Abdi right there. We're not having him, unfortunately. We are having Luis Nunez as well back out on the track. Francois Martel also with us. Carson McKenna back out. Russell Peterson, one of the lone Americans, will be back with us with Nick Shriver and Armand Bruzzo. So we'll have to see how he plays up with TJ Staver. Also kind of making up on the showcase of the track. So we are missing a few guys usually you see here on the Citadel Rallycross League, but nevertheless that is not going to change the outlook of our position and pacing today, as these drivers will be firing on all cylinders trying to be the best of the best. Before we enter into qualifying, it's best we take a look at our track talk for the evening today. Weather right now holding up pretty good. Very unique circuit, very tight little circuit. It is a different kind of feeling here, as best way I can explain it here. Jolly old England definitely makes it feel like a hospitality kind of track, but I will say this is pretty much kind of more of a downhill slow, more of a downhill run, really anyone's playing field and where they can throw at it here. So I'm interested to see how it plays out as the field is now getting set to go. Qualifying is underway, and the drivers have now begun their course lap. It's time to see who will be the fastest of the bunch. Luis Nunez takes the start immediately. Armand Bruzzo will get the car out of here, and Nick Shriver is already on the track and already in the comments saying, let's have some fun. Have fun for the both of us here, Shriver. That's all I'm going to say. My long-lost cousin, I guess you could say. And no, there are no relations between me and him. I just give him the nickname my long-lost cousin. Russell Peterson, the 9, coming back on out as well. He'll fire away on the track. Get himself some laps put up here. Of course, right now, points leader Luis Nunez trying to keep his points gain in position. Francois Martel, though, looking to try to knock him off that spot. And, of course, our Argentinian driver, Marcos Palacio, looking to try to stick one on these boys as well, make a great showcase of himself. As laps now get thrown down, you can just see how tight these corners are going to be. Turn 1. Oh boy, I do not want to be anyone that enters into that very tight turn 1 area right there. Got it firing around, then they'll swing it into the straightaways, then this elongated, kind of a 180-degree e-brake, kind of slider turn, bit of a drifter's paradise right there. Then off to a huge jump, sending you downward slope. Instead of upward, you're actually on a downward trend right into the next turn, then upward, sliding around. This is absolute chaos. You've got to endure when you're on this kind of a section. Francois Martel right now has set the fastest with a 59.24 for now. We'll see if that time holds up. As we're on board, Alexander Potizzi looks to finish out his qualifying run. Down, of course, elongated straight past the Joker, which actually is going to be a bad Joker here. That where you see the finish line strings right up in front. Alexander Potizzi, second fast out of the bunch here, actually tying it right there, Russell Pearson. And Luis Nunez heard me say he wasn't the fastest, so what did he do? Well, the only thing he knows how to do. He literally set a 54.70, a full second faster than what Carson McKenna just laid down. This guy is going to be a handful once again, and he's one of the guys that'll be driving the, well, actually all of them will be driving the Subarus today, so Subaru is the car of choice for everyone on the show here. Marcos Palacio also representing for the Team Fish Motorsport Camp in the 83, looking to try to build some speed back up from the other race runs he's had on the track here. Been quite a showcase here, and a bit of a battle off for him and his team. But he's looking to try to regain the structure and regain some confidence in his abilities in his track driving style as you see him continue to move on the track and work his way around. The windshield wipers get used a little bit. And you can see just how different it is to some of our other tracks we've noticed here on before PTM Racing TV. How some of our other tracks are more like lower down, kind of less widened out, not as hillish, or I guess you could say as hellish when we go to Motorsports Hell. That'll be an interesting one to see. But again, there's one big thing we always take away, we have to remember, is of course Joker laps in America versus the European style here at Brands Hatch. You see where Marcus Glacier just went by that little dirt mound? Yeah, the inside of that, that's the Joker lap. You're probably wondering, oh, wait a minute, if that's the Joker, why does it look like it's shorter? Well, you gotta remember, asphalt versus dirt. Which one of the two you think you're gonna get the most speed on? Well, it kind of wasn't obvious, and those that don't fully know, you need asphalt to get the most grip in the track. Dirt is a slippy, slidey kind of end, and you don't have as much grip, so it ends up causing more trouble than you're actually able to figure it out with to kind of use wind. So that's where you can see a lot of guys having to try to play out and really hit their marks at the right time, the right place. But that Joker lap will definitely be interesting to see if it is a little bit tighter or a little bit harder to master for some, compared to what the American style racing usually was when we were back there. I will say though as well, I think if anything, this is actually an advantage for guys like Francois Martel, Marcos Palacio, and Luis Nunez. They are more in an international element, whereas the Americans a little off their rocker. They are not back home in their states and their country. So I think if anything, Nunez probably feels the most comfortable with this because he really has a track that is more designed to his liking, his style. But will that end up working out for him? Well, we're about to find out. Of course, if you haven't read the description, this is our first time ever here in the UK and Brands Hatch, so another track we can knock off the list. And now, with that said, 2 heats coming up. Heat number 1 to a stage, and on this start, we will see the number 1 qualifier. He pilots the 14 from Spain. Luis Nunez is outside the Canadian in that 012. It's Francois Martel. In the American sides, TJ Staver will be in the 15 with the 9, being Russell Peterson, and the 911, Armand Brozo. Heat number 1 is on the stage, ready to work the field. Approaching the lights. Lights flicker down, and off we go. The race begins. Green in the air. Send him down to turn number 1. Nunez with the early jump gets the advantage. Uh-oh, but he gets a change. Little knocker in the back there from Francois. Francois not letting him get away too quickly, but that doesn't seem to be the case for Nunez. Nunez is already jumping it on, taking full control. Russell Pearson watching as CJ Stavers goes to war with Francois. Martel right now trying to hang on and keep him under control as they head straight from the jump down to the hard left turn of the straights. Swinging wide turn. I wonder how long before we actually get the moonshiners down here on this track. I think that might be something for these guys to try out. That little jump there alone, I think, is already going to give a few of those moonshiners a little grief to even think about coming here. They said they already had enough problems when they were back in Iowa Speedway. That jump would give them absolute headaches. Luis Nunez already got about a second and a 6/10 lead over this entire field. No surprise there with his speed and his endurance. He's showing you why he is a driver in the real world as much as he is in the virtual world. The reigning champion trying to go back-to-back in title defenses while also trying to showcase and pinpoint out that he is here to stay here on PTM Racing TV. But again, you know, what we saw there in the heat, is that going to actually be a bit of a factor going into his ride here when he has to deal with Martel and Staver on the A main. Remember, Nunez has a lot of speed down there, but does he have the controls to hold on if these guys get pretty crazy and get pretty wild down there? that will have to be seen in due time. 4 laps left to go here at Brands Hatch. Take a look at the PTM replay though. Armand Bruzzo having a little trouble down there, if I'm being so bold and nice to say. Came off the big jump, wasn't really straightened out too well as it came out. Might have knocked something a little bit loose and got way too hard in the throttle and sent it back into the pack here. You can see actually almost taking my camera out. Thankfully left the cameras alone and left the other guys alone out of that race line there. They'll fire him back in still through the corners. Nunez is your race leader by a full 3 seconds. Martel trying to get up there with Starver behind. 3 laps will turn to 2 laps to go here as Nunez now brings it right around the final section of turns. Will hire it in through the shifty left and then a hard corner right. This is what I would like to call the carousel turn of the UK. Just a sweeping, elongated turn off. Green flag high in the air. Heat number 1 about to come to a close. And Luis Nunez is your race leader here. Francois Martel trying to hang in there. TJ Staver coming up from behind. Armand Bruzzo looked like he was trying to use his joker up. Didn't quite get it to work. Now he'll have to deal with a little bit more added pressure coming in. Martel starting to drive away. Heading the marks. Getting the right corners just right. Meanwhile, the other lone Americans in this one are Russell Peterson, the number 9, looking to seal and kind of wheel up the turns, trying to get a better idea of the grip and the handling this car is going to deal with later. He knows there is pressure on him to perform. He knows there is pressure on his team to get better and faster as we go along for the ride. And again, this is only the first of 2 heats, then a last chance qualifier coming up. Then with the A, with a little warm-up session, we send it to the A main to see who will be able to hang on for that. White flag though high in the air. The number 14, the Spaniard, Luis Nunez has the race lead and by a little 4.5+ second gap. I mean, there was a reason he literally smoked and gunned the field not too long ago. He was just way too fast then and there, and that was back at Daytona where he was wrecked out and still came back to win that out. Oh. I don't know why he took that turn there, though, off that jump. I'm not sure if that's just him just throwing off a little bit, or that's actually how he's supposed to take the turn. I can tell you what he just did. There's how he's supposed to take the turn. My word. He braked it right into the corner, got that car to literally shift in just right. The car angles in perfectly, and that drive up, my word. Impressive, to say the least, and you kind of wonder why he's a champion. Uses his joker up on the last lap into the checkered flags. And really, times-wise, he did lose a little bit on Martel there, but that really doesn't make a difference. He still wins this one out by a long shot. So it appears the joker is going to be a little bit of a problem for some guys. Maybe actually a bit of a help for others. We'll have to see, though. Armand Bruzzo has not completed the rest of his race. He will go ahead and park it into the track here. Can't say that I blame him. I think he was just had enough of destroying that car. Wants to save it for the last chance qualifiers. Okay, Nunez, Martel, Staver, Peterson, Bruzzo. We'll take top 5 in this one. And now entering into the stage, Carson McKenna, Marcos Palacio, Alexander Poti, and next driver will line up in position. This is heat number 2. On to the staging area now, and we are off. Heat number 2 is out on the track now. Right now, Marcos Palacio getting a great jump out of the gate. Will get the early advantage. His teammate and Fisher Sports driver number 11, Carson McKenna, right behind him. Subaru's back at it yet again here at Palacio, trying to drive a little tighter, a little wide. Goes McKenna, now swings it in. Does go Poteet as well. Off the jump, still pretty close together in the race here. Next driver tries to hang on. Palacio trying to keep McKenna back on his rear end. Does not want him coming up to him there. Knows he could be in a bit of trouble, could be in a bit of a scruffle if he gets into that position. Knows he's got to stay focused. The intensity kind of driving along here as currently he still has company right behind him. Alexander Poteet making a great deal of speed coming right around the corners, looking for a momentum boost or two off the ends. Right into the turn number 1 yet again, and it's a solid turn again by Palacio, but McKenna and Poteet not far behind as they drift through slippery slope down into the big turns. And again, I don't know the actual name of these turns, so I'm just calling them what I think they are. So I will probably get criticized by rallycross drivers later, but due time. Carson McKenna here though, railing it in, firing through the turns yet again. Now big 180 e-brake in, sliding it in with Palacio trying to hang on. Now again, Palacio maybe only up by about a half a second here on the race lead, but McKenna is actually now using the Joker up. Let's see how much of a time gap zone difference that is here between those two. Oh, that is a huge time gap zone difference. My word, Palacio literally gained a full 2 seconds on McKenna there. Poteet and Palacio know they're going to be really in their wild little circumstance there. And Poteet giving McKenna plenty of room to make up ass here and take over the position. Keep in mind, Poteet not gone to the Joker yet, and this could cost him. McKenna tries it in. Oh, but McKenna makes a bobble. He got clipped there by Poteet as the glitch graphic gremlins were taking McKenna straight down. Poteet had nowhere to go and nothing he can do about it. And Palacio now knows he's got all the speed he wants. McKenna tries it way too hard in the turn. That little scruffle there with Poteet and his glitch graphic gremlins cost him dearly. Next driver is right behind McKenna now, looking to try to build some recovery and some speed back up. Both drivers have used their Jokers. Nick trying to hang on here. He doesn't want to give it up just yet. Marcos Palacio trying to get back into the pace, back into the run. Down with 2 to go. Marcos Palacio is a race leader, the Argentinian, trying to get another heat win. He's had an A-main win. He's had a last chance qualifier win. The only thing he's lacking is the season title. He told us earlier today, if I'm going to do it, I've got to do it right. Just drive the track. I can't let Luis or any of them get in my head. If I start letting that happen, I am no longer Palacio. I am literally Destroycio. I really didn't know what the heck he meant when he said Destroycio, but I think he means destroying himself inside out. I've been there and done that before, and I know exactly what he's talking about. It's literally just a mental grind, knowing somebody has got one up on you, and you're trying to outdo them and outclass them. But in this case, there's nothing outclassing this field of track and this race setup. White flag high in the air. Alexander Poteet in the 369 coming right up from behind. He needed some speed, but he didn't get it. Got tangled up with McKenna earlier. He's placed here to make a mistake. I don't think he's going to get him to make a mistake. I think he's going to kind of stay right where he's... Well, my hand out my big fat mouth. Palacio bobbled into the sand pits. You got to get that rear end around, sliding around that sand pit. My producers are telling me to get the max amount of travel, but if you let the front get in there, it's literally a sandbox really on your car. It's like the desert sands, just kind of grip and grab it, trying to take you down with it. Palacio, wait a minute. He didn't use his joke. Oh, he did use his joke earlier. I was about to say he didn't use it earlier on, but he got it out of the way earlier, and I just didn't see it. Marcos Palacio is going to take the E3 to victory lane. Palacio will win this one out. Alexander Poteet goes second, and Carson McKenna, despite a solid drive, will take third, and Nicholas Schreiber, well, my long-lost cousin, doing the old Schreiber way, just let it sit and then send it. It's about what we do around here. And now last chance qualifier is coming up here, race fans, but here's your Heat 2 results now popping up on your screen. Palacio, Poteet, McKenna, and Schreiber round out this one. But now on to the final last chance qualifier of the day. Here it is. TJ Staver, Carson McKenna, Russell Pearson, Nick Schreiber, and Armand Bruzo representing for this one. 5 drivers enter, all 5 make it in. But who will be the top dog of them all? Points on the line here. This will be an interesting clear out shot. Lights flickered on, ready for the initiation. Watch the flagman fire the green up high. And in the air we go. Green is out. We're underway. Entering into the first turn. No trouble right out of the gate for Staver. Gets way too hard in. He's clipping and bashing it with McKenna. McKenna gets driven in and ends up Peterson. Peterson gets a huge flick on the right side. Now tries it hard off as the penalty has been served to McKenna. Staver gets ahead of the field here as now this Pearson trying to hang on. McKenna driving in deep but gets right into the side there. Next driver now has lost all position and ground. This is not going to be good for Carson McKenna entering into the A main. He's got some work to do. TJ Staver, huge lead built up. Decides not to aim for the Joker just yet. Pearson will go in now. Pearson trying to get through that clipsy mudsliding mash pit of jumps and a mess down there of the dirt, but is able to get through it. Carson McKenna right behind him now, looking to try to take over position again. McKenna is a madman on a mission. He is literally trying to fight back at these boys for that little hiccup that he got thrown into. But it is TJ Staver, despite making a huge error into turn 1, who has the race lead. Drives it really far into the sand pit down there though. Straight to the jump, now into the corners. Trying to hang on, trying to keep his position up. Carson McKenna in the 11 also right back into the field and back into the track. Nicholas Shriver trying to hold him down there as well as they fire him through the corners and on down to the rails. Look at the fire in his eye. Look at the eyes. They tell a different story. The 11 not happy with some of the guys up there from either his heats or his race A's. Now he wants to get full control back underneath him and finally back onto the track here, but he's got some work to do as he knows these cats will not give him an inch. Nicholas Shriver right now showing you just how difficult it is to get these cars in the right frame and right spot. Oh! And maybe even in the right section of the turn. Nick Shriver slamming the hard bumper there, the hard camera. Literally caught a camera end of our barriers down there. That big blue bob down there, that's one of the barriers. He slams the barrier coming into the corner of 4, I believe. Corner 3, I should say, and literally took everything he had to get out of that mess. But that thing is hurt now. It is in trouble. Shriver falls way below the line. Armand Bruzzo trying to get up ahead and stay away from him here. Knows he's going to be coming for him. TJ Staver, you just saw a minute ago, still with the race. 2 laps left to go. Green eye in the air. Warm-up session coming up after this. Russell Pearson in the 9 right now, trying to hold on, trying to keep some speed underneath him with Russell Pearson coming up for it. There's that is the pillar of the barrier that got slammed there by the Mr. Nick Shriver on the 41. They were able to get it cleared out though and fixed. At least they had actually some officials go over there and get it cleared out immediately. So it's back in the proper spot. Thankfully it is where it needs to be, but unfortunately I don't think Shriver would say he's where he needs to be in his mind. 2 will now flip to 1 to go. White flag coming up this time by Staver. Has the race lead locked in. Can he hold on? White flag high in the air now. Staver has got all the track to himself. He can take his joke. He's already taken his Joker. Russell Pearson also has already taken the Joker. Carson McKenna has not. He's trying to get right up ahead. Or excuse me, now he actually has this lap. So now he is right up there with Pearson, looking to try and make for a last-minute comeback. These two earlier on got into it one another on that turn that they just went by. Now swinging it straight, drifting in. Beautiful corner there by Pearson. McKenna slides it just a little too much. Can't quite get the rein. Looking to get up to his corner panel. This is a dive bomb attempt coming up here by McKenna. Drives it in quick. Gives Peterson a little tap on the side of the door. The door-to-door connection is met, but it's not enough for Pearson to give out. McKenna holds on. McKenna holds on to that third. Pearson holds on to second. And off the final turn here, straight to the finish. TJ Staver will take the last chance qualifier, winning in the 15. Pearson trying to dive in quick and hold the speed. McKenna went for the dive bomb. Not enough. Pearson will hold on for second. McKenna goes third. Next Shriver will go in the 41 to 4th after a hard charge up ahead to get ahead of Armand Bruzzo. And that will conclude the last chance qualifiers. Wow, my, race fans. Quite the start, quite the showing, and we just continue to roll along. One more race left to go, and that is the A main. But here is your last chance qualifier results. TJ Staver, he'll be the man that takes full control of this one. Russell Pearson getting second, third will go to Carson McKenna. Next driver going in fourth, and fifth goes to Armand Bruzzo. They'll walk away here in the top 5. 9 drivers will enter in to our A main warm-up session, now in session. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock here for our drivers. So let's just talk about this for a second. We saw Nunez literally just, well, just now showboating at this point. We saw Luis Nunez really out of the gate in heat number 1 make the best turn out of all our heats, all our last chance qualifiers we've seen so far today. He's already made a good showing of himself just by hitting his marks and hitting his spots around. And yet Marcos Palacio isn't too far off on that either. He made a great turn there in turn number 1 as well when he was in his heat, managing to actually coming away with that win. Now, is that long-term wise going to work out? I mean, is that going to be the overall package deal? Will it get enough speed, enough time to work with throughout this race? That is something only he and himself and Marcos Palacio will have to know about in this kind of distance. Palacio has got a lot on his hands. Nunez has a lot on his hands. And I would even be so bold to say that there could be a guy or two in here that might actually be able to throw a few curveballs in there and make things just a little bit more interesting. We do not know. The only thing we do know is that nothing is out of the region, out of the realms here on PTM Racing TV. And the best way to find out for sure is to stay tuned and locked with us here as our field currently throws down laps and throws down last-minute practice sessions. I'll say this though, Nunez, if you can get an urge jump like he did earlier and just get ahead of his boys, well, I really would not want to try to be him right about now. Well, the rest of the guys right now just trying to get some laps around the track, trying to get a feel for this place. And you can just see how much intensity and how much power is being thrown and just around here just on those jumps alone. That jump, I really feel like, does not get enough credit for what it does to these guys. What it forces them to do is when they take that jump, they've got to be pretty much wheel to wheel off of one another, or they need to be very, very precise on where they work around the track and where they work off in a position. This isn't a series of events that's going to let them to be any more out of control. It's going to be a bit more of just trying to keep these cars subtle and relaxed. And at the same time, I still kind of wonder if they had any shorter wheelbases, how much bounce and travel would these things be taking on like the Moonshine Rallycross Leagues. Legendary, of course, do. These are built actually as Rallycross cars. The Subarus, the Volkswagens, and I believe the Hondas have all been designed and proverbiated to make sure that they are set at a set standard and a set style to allow the drivers to not only take the punishment, but give it right back to the car, allowing them to be safe and help and controlled. But it is still very, very difficult to really make these cars work on such a track that has really got two surfaces, asphalt and dirt. And either way though, it's from slick to grippy to tacky to sticky. It's a big mess out here, I tell you. 50 seconds left on the clock. We're about ready for the A-mains. And now with the final 20 seconds left on the clock here, race fans, the time has elapsed and the time has controlled itself out. And we are about to bear witness to drivers going out on the track one more time. All 9 will fight for their right in their race. This should be an interesting one. Place your bets, put your track on, put your name, put your number on the comment section. Who do you think will win this one out? You've seen how these drivers have performed in the heats. You've seen how they were in the last chance qualifier. Who will catch the brakes and who will win this one out? We are just about to find out. Field is now set to go. Here it is. Final starters from their first row to the bottom row. Nunes, Palacio, Martel, Poteet, Staver, Peterson, McKenna, Shriver, Baruzzo. Your field is ready. Awaiting the commands. Hearts beating, hearts pumping, tight belts tightened even more. Green is out, lights are off, we're underway. Oh, what a huge wreck right out of the gate here on the front straightaway. A massive pileup out of the gate. TJ Staver and Alexander Poteet wrecked out on the start here. Nunes seeing an opportunity to get away immediately. Palacio trying to hunt him down. Palacio trying to get up there to him. Poteet and Staver have completely wrecked out. And even Francois Martel is wrecking out. What on earth is going on there? There is madness all around us. We can't even get to see what happened exactly. We're trying to get to the footage to see what went wrong or what went down. We are now finally going to be able to see it here. What the heck happened? They didn't even get off the line before chaos had ensued. Right out of the gate. And it looks like Peterson got Staver and Poteet right on the shot, right on the nose when they were coming off that line. But then here's what happened to Francois Martel. Francois literally coming into that turn. Looked like he was lined up, but got completely smashed in by Carson McKenna. And McKenna just completely destroying his race, destroying his runoff out of the gate. Back to the live footage, and wouldn't you believe it, 4.5 seconds up already, and now 5 seconds. Somebody might need to actually find a way to lower the horsepower on Nunes so the guys can keep up with him. My word. This man, well, this kid, I should say, will not be stopped. The Spaniard just completely taking everything on full circuit, full track. Russell Pearson having to slow down due to a joker. Francois Martel moving right up ahead. A penalty there for Peterson, I should say. Not the joker lap was thrown at him there now. Has to try to hang on with only 8 laps left. That's not very much time there. Armand Bruzzo damaged up badly on the 911, but he is still A-okay to try to ride it out. And just the power these things have too going into these corners. That's so scary right now. That car is screaming to the line. Screaming off the track, screaming off in position. 8 laps still here. We are pushing further and further as we go. Palacio trying to hope for a miracle, trying to hope for some help or something. He lost a lot of time just by taking the joker lap. Nunes has not completed just yet. Still 6 seconds. That's a lot of travel and time to lose out. Nunes can just feel nice right at home by just simply doing the bare minimum, really what he has to do. Doesn't have to push it, doesn't have to try to force his hand. He can just stay under the influence and stay right in position. Francois Martel here still up on the binders here, trying to keep feet up ahead from Russell Pearson. Pearson and him again getting into it a little bit. Entering into the turns and entering into the track. Pearson taking his joker already. Martel has not, so that could be a bit disheartening here for Martel, knowing he has got something that Pearson has already dealt with. But when was the right time to be actually to take that joker? Would it actually be the right time to be using it? If I was him, I probably did at least with about 2 to go or on that last lap. Try to get speed up ahead of Pearson now and hope for the best, because right now this is not the strategy that's going to get Nunes, but it's going to be enough to possibly get yourself into a podium if you can find a way to catch this cat in Carson McKenna, who is the same driver that, well, let's just say took The number 012's rear end to the Shadow Realm, entering into this corner right up ahead on the top of the hill. Next driver as well, not giving out here. As you can see, the field separated out by quite a bit of a margin here, and starting to become more of a closer connection to lap traffic in a minute. Luis Nunez is not far behind. He's already entered in to the carousel turn down here to the straight line to the finish. 5 laps left to go. High five in the air. Luis Nunez is absolutely tearing it up out here, putting the field in its track and in its spot. I said at the top of the show, he may feel right at home here because the fact that he has been racing in America for so long. He wanted to race something a little bit differently. He's getting that wish and then some. And it looks like trouble down there. Carson McKenna open the door up for Francois Martel. Martel taking it up there. Martel, though, wait a minute. Problems for him. McKenna brings it right back around. But McKenna overdrives the corner and actually has to back off. Russell Pearson, they're coming right back into the mix. Just what on earth? What on earth has happened up here? This has literally now swung a whole different direction. See if we can take a look at what happened to McKenna here. Between the rest of these field here, we're going to try to get the instant replay up as soon as possible here. Here we go. Here's what happened. Watch McKenna entering into turn number 1. So much power and momentum. He's trying to suck that car around. But look at all that speed he has. He has no way of getting around it. And look at Francois literally just slamming it into McKenna in the 11. Now that's why Martel backed off. Good sportsmanship like as well. McKenna and him collided with each other earlier, so good showing from him, but that opened the door for Pearson. But McKenna was trying to return the favor as well, I think, for earlier. And I think at that point, really, that was just pure driver instinct. Martel felt like he didn't own it, and McKenna didn't feel like he deserved it, but McKenna loses position for that. But nevertheless, very good showing of sportsmanship and respect by all drivers. But it's not enough really to get you into that top spot or able to get you more speed. If you want to do that, you got to get aggressive and you got to get smart. Well, this man seems to know that and then some. Because now he is your race leader. Luis Nunez still no troubles here. Driving it way deeper than I thought he was going to there. That looks like he's starting to just let it hang out now. I don't even think he cares. Russell Pearson trying to get back up there to the 0-12, but Francois Martel looking for one last little leg up, one last position into the field. Gotta give them credit where credit's due. They have no quit and they have no give. They want to fight for everything they got and trying to hopefully find a way around it. But even with that said, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be enough to do what you want here. Carson McKenna now looking to outrace now Smart Pearson. Remember those two earlier on. They put fenders together. They put them to the door handles. And it is looking like that may be the same thing here. Off in the distance. Green flag in the air. These guys know Nunez is already way too far ahead. At this point, they're racing each other out. TJ Staver letting us know about the racing ordeal as well. We saw earlier and what these guys do. You can read the comment in there, but much respect indeed there, Staver, and it was great to have you on the show here, sir. Tough break there out of the gate, unfortunately getting put into that bad spot out of the gate, man. Oh, a little trouble down there for Armand Bruzzo. We'll get out of the way, let the drivers race it out. Good sportsmanship from him. Pearson and McKenna right now dipping it hard on the throttle, trying to get to the better of one another, but it is Luis Nunez who sees a big white flag high in the air. Wide out for Nunez, the number 14 driver, keeping that number and name relatively on the nose on the Rallycross end, looking to claim another victory. Palacio, words can't describe just how much credit and work he's putting into this car day in and day out and trying to find something to hang with these boys. Unfortunately today though, he ran into an absolute buzzsaw in the UK. And it was not a giant haystack that he got thrown into. It was literally a Luis Nunez who now drives it straight into the Joker, into the final corners, into the final turn. The number 14 from Spain, Luis Nunez, is going to win another one in victory lane. He is your first ever winner at Brands Hatch Circuit on PTM Racing TV. Marcos Palacio put on an extremely good showing. Jolly good show indeed, Mr. 83. He'll take home second. Francois Martel drives it from pretty much A to Z, gets sent to the shadow realm, but holds on long enough to take the third place spot. There he is, your race winner out of Castleton, Spain. It is Mr. Luis Nunez. The youngster will up another one into victory lane. The Logitech 14 Subaru will take another one home and strive to the top of the mountain once again. An impressive performance and a big win for Mr. Nunez. It's time now to take a look at the feature results here of the Citadel Rallycross League here in Brands Hatch Circuit. Here's the final results. What a performance here in Kent, UK, the United Kingdom of England. It is Luis Nunez, the Spaniard, bringing home another one. And second going to Marcos Palacio, the Argentinian, bringing it home for Fishsport in the 83, going second. Third, we'll go to Francois Martel from Canada in the 012. And then the lone Americans, Russell Pearson and Carson McKenna, getting top 5 with the rest of their American fellowmen. But my friends, brothers and sisters, what a jolly good time this was, and a great race from start to finish. This was absolutely fun to see and a great time to be had. Well, now take it down here and have a listen in with our top 3. We'll first showcase to you the top 3 podium overlays. And hopefully, if they will come join us here, we will have time to talk with them. I know Marcos Palacio and Luis Nunez might not show up. I have no idea on that one. They both have kind of had a little bit of a time trying to speak our native language of English. But they do their best to try to speak it, so I will give them credit where credit is due. At least they try. And of course, Luis Nunez actually has a pretty good interpretation of English, so I presume you'd actually be able to talk with us here. But we haven't actually heard from him in a while, so I think we'll just kind of let him be and let him do his thing. But nevertheless, we'll try and see if these drivers we'll try and see if we get an interview in or not. If not, then we'll just start kind of getting ready to wrap this show up. But race fans, if you are tuning out right now and you're ready to get on home and get ready to kind of finish out your Saturday night plans, we really do appreciate you tuning on in here to PTM Racing TV. Hope you've enjoyed the show and all that. It's been chaotic, it's been fun, and at least to say, it has been a wonderful time to be live here on PTM Racing TV, and really, it's been a great overall day for everything that's gone on and the racing that follows with it. Truly, it just shows you how fun and great the spectacle can be of a sport, and how much rallycrossing can definitely change out on position and on track, make it for some very wild, chaotic days. We'll give it one more minute, and after that, I think we're going to go ahead and cut the show off from here and kind of head on home for the night. Still, though, absolutely impressive, though, just how crazy it has been here, and a great showing here at Brands Hatch Circuit. And again, if you want to see more of this, you want to see new tracks and new circuits, well, we'll do what we can, and we hope to bring you more. But, you know, all that can only be brought to you from the friends and folks that come onto our show. So if any of you are interested to join us here on the PTM Racing TV side, then just simply message us up, let us know, and we will get you all set to go. But for now, I think that really will be kind of where we're going to sight this one off today. So, with that in mind, that said, race fans, we're going to go ahead and go on home for the night. Race fans, thank you so much for tuning in to PTM Racing TV, the showcase of it all. We appreciate you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow night as we've got a doubleheader set to go.